Welcome back, true believers, to another story time with Spidey, the place where you can enjoy your favorite Marvel superhero stories coming to life. Before we get started, if it's your first time, be sure to click that like button and the subscribe button as well, so I can continue to bring you these amazing stories, because I enjoy it, and I hope you do too. So for today's story, actually, in case this is your first time, I thought I'd just do a quick recap of the character of, well, me, of Spider-Man. So grab your web shooters, get ready, get excited for today's story, The Friendly Neighborhood Superhero. Let's jump in. Peter Parker lived in a house in Queens, New York, with his Aunt May. Aunt May raised Peter as if he were her own son. She was very nurturing and made sure he had everything he needed. Before his Uncle Ben passed away, he told Peter he could become whoever he wanted to be, and to always remember that with great power comes great responsibility. True words to live by, Uncle Ben. Peter went to Midtown High School and was very focused on getting good grades. He studied hard and got straight A's. He loved to learn. Science was Peter's favorite subject, and he was one of the smartest students in class. He enjoyed performing science experiments and showing off his discoveries to his teacher. Some would call me teacher's pet, but maybe that's just me. After school, Peter worked at the Daily Bugle as a photographer. He had a knack for taking pictures. That is, when his boss wasn't yelling at him for more shots of a certain red and blue clad superhero. J. Jonah Jameson, Peter's boss, was known for being tough as nails. He constantly wanted pictures of Spider-Man, but that was a bit of a problem. Peter had a secret he couldn't tell anyone. Not his Aunt May, and certainly not Jameson. He was Spider-Man. You see, during a school field trip to a lab, a radioactive spider bit Peter. All of a sudden, Peter found he could do extraordinary things like shoot spider webs. At first, he had trouble aiming the webs, but he used his knowledge of science to make special web shooters that gave him the control he needed. He kept practicing, and soon enough, he could direct the webs wherever he wanted. That did take quite some practice, I'll tell you that. Knowing he had to keep his identity a secret, Peter made himself a spider suit and a mask fit for a superhero. Now, he could go into the city without anyone knowing it was him. He could stick to walls so he could travel above the streets to stay out of sight when he needed to. Eventually, with time and a lot of practice, Peter learned how to master all of his skills. Besides web shooting and wall clinging, he also had super strength. This strength, combined with Peter's courage and other powers, gave him the ability to help those in trouble. He made it his mission to protect the people in his neighborhood. That's how he earned the nickname, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And that nickname sure stuck. Peter also had the power of spider sense, a strong tingling sensation that would alert him to any bad guys in danger. Personally, I like to call it Spidey sense, but spider sense works too. Now, there was one supervillain who was Spider-Man's greatest enemy, Venom. I don't feel so good, guys. What's happening? Oh no, not again! Well, let's continue reading and hopefully I can get this thing off of me in time. I know what's going on. Let's read and hopefully we can defeat, well, Venom. Venom could shapeshift, use his suit to make special weapons, and even mimic Spider-Man's abilities. With his super strength and menacing fangs, Venom was extremely dangerous. And he loved to wreak havoc in New York City. Spider-Man swung onto the street and fired his webs to stop Venom.
I'm going to take all of your powers,
Venom snarled. Not today, Venom. Not this time. Spider-Man knew Venom well and knew one of his weaknesses. He hated loud noises. Spider-Man blasted webs at several nearby cars, setting off loud, blaring car alarms. What was that, Venom? I can't hear you! Spider-Man smirked. Venom was caught completely off guard, giving Spider-Man just enough time to ensnare Venom in thick webbing. That was close, huh? That could have been a lot worse. The life of a superhero kept the web slinger on his toes. Just days later, he surprised the looter as he was trying to rob a bank. Spider-Man shot a series of webs that pinned him down. Then Spider-Man safely returned the stolen money to the authorities. Another day, another bag of money. Spider-Man hoped the day would come when the world would be free from criminals and villains. But until then, he swung through the city on patrol, ready for his spider sense to alert him to danger, poised to jump in and help wherever he could. It wasn't easy leading a double life, but he knew he had been given his powers for a reason. As long as there were bad guys around, he had an important job to do. Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Well, yet another story down, and I really hope you enjoyed it. A little different for today, but the main point I wanted to bring home to you kids is that if you have a special ability or a certain talent no one else may have, there's a responsibility to use it. So whether it's being kind to your friends or being kind to that person in class, or stopping someone that's hurting someone else at school. You know me, I didn't really like bullies too much, but hey, if you have the ability to stand up for yourself and for someone else, do it. Point is, we all have power, whether it be big or small, and we all have a responsibility to use it. So remember that, kids. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed it. So on your way out, remember to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. And until next time, stay amazing.